Peace, power, and protection, my beautiful, beautiful Scorpios. Welcome to another download, another transmission from yours truly. I go by the name of Q. This is First Eye VisionZ. Thank you so much for tuning and tapping in. If you are new, welcome, beloveds. If you are returning, you already know what it is. Love is love is love is love is love. I send you all extra love because you know I love and appreciate you all that much. If you are new here, the way things work on my side of the planet is I do incorporate music into my readings. So the name of the songs, lyrics within the songs, maybe even the timestamp on the clock, it will all correlate to whatever I may be channeling intuitively, as well as what the cards may be showing. And everything just tends to blend very beautifully. So my spiel here is eat the fish, spit out the bones, meaning if it doesn't apply, just let it fly by, beloveds. Let it go. Let it flow. Never try to force anything to be your story. So I was a little perturbed because I recorded a very beautiful reading for you all on Friday. And I suppose Mercury retrograde is already retrograding in my life. And none of the recording uploaded. So it literally, I could see, you know, that it was around almost a 2-hour reading because I used 3 different oracle decks and then the actual tarot cards. When I tell you that reading was so profound and none of it uploaded. So even though it was showing, you know, the timestamp, when I stopped the video, it never saved, it never did anything. And I was literally so frustrated. I was just like, whatever. And so today I felt compelled to try again. I had recorded that on my tablet, and it's a brand new tablet. It's a Lenovo tablet. There should have been nothing wrong. I've recorded other videos on that tablet, but the way that I always receive information is if, you know, if it didn't upload, it wasn't meant for you all to have that message. It just was divine timing, you know. So I just took a step back and said, okay, I won't record another video because I was about to record yet another one right after that happened, and Spirit just kind of put me on pause, on timeout, and told me to just take a moment, you know, before I uploaded. So I was very obedient to that. So today is my second attempt to get a message out to my beloved Scorpios. I will that life is treating y'all well. I will that, you know, things are progressing for you. I will that you're in optimal health. I will that you feel healthy, mind, body, and soul. And I will that you're grounded. I will that you are, you know, feeling very safe, very secure in your own skin, first and foremost. So without further ado, we are going to dive in. There's a lot going on in the world, and I just know that the powers that be love to use our fears, our anger, to fuel and fan whatever their hidden agendas are. So that's why I'm just really doing a check-in in hopes that you all are, you know, not feeding into any of the narratives that these talking heads are pushing right now. It's really intended to really take you off your square. There's a lot of baiting going on right now. Rage baiting, hate baiting, race, you know, I just feel like they're trying to start race wars. And I love all of my people, you know. So we are all humans, and I feel like that's been a way that they've been able to conquer, you know, the majority of us is by having us fighting against each other based off of skin color and nationality, and just a lot of foolery that they've been doing for thousands of years. And it's always just a few that are in power, and they've been able to monopolize and control the majority of us by the narratives that they push. And so I will that you all are not falling into the traps that they're setting. These things I've noticed these past couple of years just by observing, you know, they will do things, you know, spike up, whether that looks like that they will spike up the anger by some of the cases that they put on public display. You know, we just had a huge one with the young man, you know, in South Carolina. Now we have another young man in Texas. And there's just countless scenarios that they are pushing. And when you allow mainstream media to tell a story, you could always bet on the fact that they give you half-truths, if any truths are available. So I definitely feel like there's some rage, some race baiting, some hate mongering. There's a lot going on to pull and tug on the emotional strings of the people right now. Hold on one moment. My bad. So, you know, my daughter just came in, but yeah. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of these powers that be are just tugging on the emotional strings of the people right now. And I just hope that you all are not falling, you know, falling for the okie doke, because it literally is, it's definitely trying to entice fear and anger, you know, amongst the people. And we already know the way that they've been able to conquer all of us is through division, you know, dividing us with, you know, classes, you know, wealth classes, with our nationality, with our race, so-called. We are actually the human race, but they have us broken down into, well, you're black, you're white, you're Hispanic, you're Chinese, you're Asian, you're this. And the fact of the matter is we're all humans. You know, we are spiritual beings first, having a human experience. And somehow they've been able to manipulate and monopolize situations for thousands of years. And I just will that you all are not falling, you know, victim to any of the nonsense that's taking place right now. But I digress. I'm sending infinite love and light to each and every one of you. You know, even those of you that may be affected by some of the things that's going on. I myself have, you know, a 14-year-old melanated king, you know, that I am raising and rearing for this world, you know, and I refuse to allow fear and these narratives that they love to pump into mainstream media to be his story, you know, to be how the rest of the world perceives him. So I cover him with not only, you know, my prayers, but I speak power into my son, and I speak, you know, enlightenment onto him as well. You know, let him be aware of what's going on out there, but never have him feeling inferior or fearful. You know, so. But again, I digress. Let's delve in, see what the cards have to say, beloveds. And I do send you all infinite love and light. I'm definitely sending you power, sending healing your way as well. So as always, I like to start off with the numerology deck. And we have the 77 spirituality card. But before we go any further, let me get my phone. Where is my phone? Okay, there it is. It just fell on the floor. So what is the clock? Okay, so the time is, we got 11:25, so that breaks down to 9. So it's currently 11:25 on the Klizak. That breaks down to 9. 9 is the number of the Hermit. 9 is also the number of completion. You know, that wraps up a cycle. So that represents, you know, something that could be closing out. The Hermit really isolates himself from the rest of the world, to go within, to self-regulate, to emotionally regulate, to introspect, to self-reflect, to examine things, you know, because he or she knows that the answers he seeks are found within. What's playing on the playlist is we have, who is this? We got Michelle Indegocello, and this is called Virgo. So some of y'all could be dealing with a Virgo. Some of you all could have Virgo in your chart. Maybe you are a Virgo ascending, a Virgo moon. So some of you all could definitely be dealing with that astrological sign of Virgo. I know right now we are in Gemini season. So, using critical thinking, I feel many of you could be doing right now. Virgo is also an earth sign. So maybe, like I said, some of you may have an earth element in your natal chart. 77, spirituality, that is that number of the crown. So whenever I see double numbers, I always feel like you are attracting a like-minded person, or that you could be in alignment. There is this element, especially with spirituality, that you're tapped in. I definitely feel a sense of spiritual strength. I feel that there's been some personal growth, spiritual growth, emotional growth. I'm also feeling like you are someone who has been on a journey, and there's been a lot of divine timing that has allotted this growth, this growing pain that you've experienced in your life. This 77 breaks down to 14, which is the temperance. So that's where I'm getting a lot of divine timing, things happening in the way that spirit sees fit. So that means you're not in control. Maybe there's a level of frustration because you may not feel like things are happening as quickly as you like. I feel like spirit could also be reminding you to remain grounded, to remain rooted, because there's something that could be taking place. I definitely feel a sense of maturation and growth, because that 14 breaks down to 5, which is given that element of you being in a learning energy, like you've been in a studious energy, you've been building your wealth of knowledge. Maybe you're even seeking wise counsel, sitting at the feet of elders, teachers, master teachers, healers, shamans, light workers. There's something that you've been working on spiritually, and it's growing. It's helping to grow you. It's helping to develop your spiritual prowess, if you will. I am absolutely feeling like maybe even you have a teacher or a family member or someone that is of significance that could be a Virgo, that could also be very significant in this story of your spiritual growth, of your ascension, of this maturation that you are currently experiencing. I can't make this up. So you have spirituality and spiritual partnership. So you are definitely coming into some sort of spiritual connection, tie with another person. As I said earlier, that double number was alluding to the fact that it was a like-minded type of energy, or that you were coming into alignment even with yourself. But with spiritual partnerships, I feel moving forward, you are developing a lot of healthy connections. You're ridding yourself of those relationships, those friendships, those work dynamics, even the connections in your life that do not serve you. This 27 is 9. We open up the reading with 9. So I do feel like it's saying that there's a completion of a cycle that was no longer serving you. However, there's a new beginning where you're coming into more spiritually motivated connections and ties and unions with people. I'm definitely getting a sense of a partnership. That could be a love ship. Again, that could be even a work dynamic, maybe even your friend group. It's how you're picking and selecting and choosing your soul tribe, your village. These are people that are also on the same frequency and vibration. So they've done the same work as you. They've done the internal work as well as the spiritual work. They've done a lot of healing. So these spiritual partnerships, the spirituality is saying that there is a strength that you are not only exuding, but that you are also displaying at this time in your lives. So this is very powerful. Someone's name could be Michelle as well. So let's tap in and see what the cards have to say, beloveds. So let's get our message for what's the overall energy for my beloved Scorpios. Tune in, tap in, call upon the angels, the ancestors. Help me pick up on the energy, number, synchronicity, vibrations of my cards. So mote it be. I protect each and every one of my Scorpios, or anyone that may be tuning and tapping in, even those cross watchers that may be trying to learn a little more about their beloved Scorpios. I will that you protect. Thank you. So 2 cards just flew out. Bottom of the deck, we got 41. That's 5, self-discipline. So self-discipline is all encompassing of self-love, self-worth, self-value. This is someone who is very much doing things very intentionally. And what did I say about a completion? You got karmic completion. So there's no doubt about it. The overall energy right now is you're closing out a cycle, a very toxic cycle at that. This is one that caused a lot of disappointment, sadness. There was betrayal, deception. A lot of things was happening unbeknownst to you. You know, maybe a lot of secrets, a lot of lies. Maybe you were trapped in illusions. There could have been a lot of people around you that did not mean well, that did not have good intentions for you. A lot of situations where you may have overcompensated, self-sacrificed. You gave more than you were receiving. But in this junction of your life, when we pull the card for who or what you're attracting to, you got self-discipline. So now you're more mature, where you have a sense of self-love. You know, you've learned your worth and value through that hardship, and it's built your sense of strength. It's built your sense of character. It's built your self-esteem. It's made you prioritize you. So now you're moving with intention. You're not just doing things impulsively, or you're not just doing things to appease and please others. You're prioritizing yourself, putting you first, and it's because you have discovered self-love, worth, and value. That chapter is closing, and every ending denotes some new beginning. So what you've also done is you've managed to learn to overcome those hardships, overcome the disappointments and the betrayals. There was a lot of secret competition, a lot of people that may have had ulterior motives. You were someone that gave people the benefit of the doubt, even when you should not have. You know, even when you shouldn't have, not should not have. I don't know what kind of, you know, that's that Mercury retrograde energy, pardon. But even when you shouldn't have, you know, you could have given people the benefit of the doubt. Because you are someone who's very emotionally intelligent, you could have given more than you were receiving, as I said. But you've overcome a lot of the betrayals, a lot of the deception, even though there was a lot that was being hidden from you, a lot that you learned almost the hard way. It's like you've had to go through some sort of tower moment, or you've had to almost experience some sort of breaking point, is what I heard in my mind's eye. And that breaking point kind of allowed you to break through. So these 2 cards, you know, that's 14 yet again. And 14 is the flip of this 41. So that is the mirror of that number, which means you did a lot of shadow work. So you had to confront, you know, the dark side of yourself. We all have a dark side, just like we got the light. That's the polarity. That's the yin and yang. That's the balance that we have to find. So you may have been all loving, all kind, but you had to come to grips with the fact that the people around you were forcing you to come into the alignment of, you know, that shadow side of looking at things that may have been hidden, things that you refused to see, that was obvious, you know, to the naked eye. So this self-love just shows that you had to focus on healing. The 4 deals with the heart chakra. I definitely feel like there's a full circle moment, because you are learning more to prioritize yourself. This definitely took divine timing, because as I said, this 10 and 4 breaks down to 14. 14 is the temperance card. So you definitely had to learn a lot about yourself, which made, you know, that time a factor. And then you also have this 3, creativity. That's the Empress energy. So you started to perhaps focus more on your creativity, your artistry. You started to learn even your own voice. You started to figure out your own voice. And this has granted a power within. You have definitely tapped into your strength, your courage, your power. You know, because your power is your ability to manifest, your ability to be creative, to tap into that creativity, to tap into that artistry. But you also discovered your worth and value. I feel like there is a sense of like enlightenment and awakening. All of these cards reduced to 8, so that 8 card is the strength card. So you've discovered just how strong you were from those difficulties, from having to navigate those very arduous battles. But you are here now, stronger, wiser, and also aware of your ability to manifest, to tap into your divinity, as I said, is that divine feminine, divine masculine, to co-create with source, and to, really use your vulnerabilities as a superpower to really turn your pain into power, to turn your pain even into profit. I feel like there's something creative that you could be working on that could definitely lead to some sort of financial freedom, because that 8 is the number of wealth. I feel like in the month of August, perhaps, there could definitely be something that turns around, because you're going to start mastering your craft, or you're really tapping and tuning into some sort of creativity, sharpening a skill, honing a gift, a talent, learning more. This 5 of self-discipline is also that number of the Hierophant. As I said, a very studious energy. This is someone who seeks wise counsel, whether through their own self-investigation or through sitting at the feet of an elder, teacher, master teacher, even learning, going back to class, learning a new skill set. What we have playing right now is we have Oshun, and it's called You Can't Love Me. So I do feel like, whatever this karmic completion was that you experienced was because you discovered that someone couldn't love you perhaps the way you deserved to be loved. And so, love is an inside job first and foremost. So you had to learn how to love yourself, because you teach others how to treat you. So if you are someone, again, who was overcompensating or giving more than you were receiving, then that means that you were definitely not implementing self-love in the way that it needed to be implemented, and someone may have taken your kindness for weakness, or taken advantage simply of the fact that you were someone who was very, very giving in that way. So with You Can't Love Me, I feel like that Oshun reference, that is the goddess, the Orisha, the goddess who really empowers divine femininity, beauty, and she protects you. She reminds you of the beauty that you possess, which is why this yellow creativity is here, because that's Mama Oshun's color. So many of you definitely could be either using that Oshun energy. Oshun's day is Friday, so Friday was the day I was trying to initially record this reading, and for whatever reason, the video did not upload, it didn't save. And so I was really frustrated. But with this yellow, I definitely feel like there's a strength that you're leaning in. I definitely feel there's a confidence. I definitely feel you're in your power now. And that's a beautiful energy to be in as well. So let's tap and see what you got coming in, going out, going on. We got Diana Ross, Missing You. Someone's name could be Diana or Ross, first, middle, or last. With Missing You, I do feel someone can be missing you. But I feel like you're very focused again on yourself, really focusing even on your skills, focus on learning something new. So let's tap in. So who or what is our beloved Scorpios attracting to them? Thank you, Spirit. Wow, these cards keep falling out. So you got another group of cards. So we got 4. So you got 444 here. So your angels have definitely given you the strength to come, to push forward. I feel like whatever's in your environment, whatever's in, because you got 4, 4, 4, 4, all of these cards reduced to 4, because you got 10 and 3, that's 4. Then you got the 4 perseverance, and then 4. So 4, 4, 4, someone's birthday could be on the 4th. I'm hearing November 11th. I'm sorry, November 4th. So that wasn't a coinky dink, because the reason why I said November 11th is because that's 11/11, and 11/11 is usually associated with the 4th, with that twin flame. That 11/11 breaks down to 4, which is, the heart chakra. And with someone missing you, maybe this is someone that's a twin flame, or some soulmate, or someone that is feeling a very strong connection, or a strong synergy or chemistry with you, or may have felt that in the past. But this 4444, so 4444, that's breaks down to 12. 12 is telling me that someone's looking at you from a different perspective. So 4 times 4, no, that's 16. So 4 times 4 is actually 16. So that 16 is a tower. A tower happened in your life with someone else, and that tower has led to someone realizing that they miss you because the tower may have caused you to separate. There was some sort of demise of a relationship, demise of a connection, and this person is now missing you. With self-discipline, you're displaying self-respect because you are not allowing yourself to be available to anyone that may have had you in some sort of triangular situation, or someone that may have made you feel like you were in some sort of secret competition with others. I definitely feel like whoever this person was, this was someone that you could have, planted seeds and roots with. I do feel the sense of familiarity or commonality. This could have even been a domestic situation. I feel like someone is wanting to work things out because that 44 is giving me like the 8 of Pentacles. I definitely feel like there was a sense of abandonment and rejection, but I feel like that taught you to prioritize yourself and to lean on your own strengths, it's matured you, it's strengthened you, it's led you to realize that you're not anyone's option. You also realize that, you have to prioritize yourself. We also have 33 communication. So this is someone that wants to communicate. They have been trying to communicate with you telepathically or intuitively. Maybe someone is really up in their head thinking about another person. But I definitely see with this missing you, they're missing your voice. I heard someone's missing even the tone of your voice. There was Katara. She just jumped up here. Hi, my baby. Someone definitely is missing like the tone of your voice. Someone is really missing you, according to Diana Ross. And I feel like it's that person you cut off because there was obviously some sort of sudden ending, or there was an ending that transpired because, as we saw when we first touched the deck, we had that karmic completion. You are focused on your new beginning, so you're having some sort of new beginning. Things are definitely, working in your favor. Like, I feel like you are feeling very elated at this time. Like, there's things that are transpiring in your life after that tower, after some sort of completion of this karmic cycle. That tower fell, and it's like it destroyed everything in its path, but it's like you're now rebuilding. So this new beginning is bringing something very beautiful. We got Remedy featuring Wu-Tang. So with Remedy, I feel like you've discovered the remedy was to, let things go, to not look back, to really just focus on moving forwards, upward and onwards. You could be seeing a lot of synchronicities. I'm seeing a lot of 444s. You even got 333 here. So there's definitely, I think all these cards still reduce to 444 because you have 10 and 3, that's 4, 4. Then you got 44. Then you got 41, that's 4. And then you got 33. So all of these cards reduce to 4. You could be seeing 444 a lot. Someone's solar return could even also be October, 31st. Someone could have been born on Halloween. Someone could have been born on November 4th. I'm definitely getting a sense of even someone could have been born in the month of April. April could be significant. 4 is definitely significant. I'm definitely getting all 4s from these cards, and I'm going to just show you because the 1 and the 41, see that 1 into this 3 is 4. That 3 into this 1 over here is 4. So this is 4. This is 4, 4. And all of these also reduce to 4. So 4 is very significant. Something could have happened also in the month of April. See that? All of these are 4s. Just break it down. See that? This is all 4s. Break it down. Let me show you the 10. Just break it down. So everything here reduces to 4, which is very interesting. And as I said, 444 is the angel number. Someone could have 444. I saw someone could possibly have 444 like tatted on their body, or they could have like a necklace or a bracelet. I feel like that 444 follows someone throughout their life. But with synchronicity, this is confirming that. You could be seeing a lot of 4s. And that means that, I'm hearing love could be incoming for you, because 4 deals with the heart chakra, but it's also the divine masculine. So there could be a divine masculine that is of significance. That could be, really seeing a lot of 4s, or someone could really be calling upon some sort of masculine energy, father figure type of energy, the authoritarian. This is the leader. This is the like that head of household. This is that militant type of energy. Someone who has, that leader type of disposition. Someone who takes charge, takes lead. Someone who's definitely powerful. I'm seeing something could, transform. Definitely there was someone who went through some sort of transformation. I see another mirror here. So we got rebirth and self-love. And didn't I say that was one of the lessons, that you all had to learn was self-love. So whatever that transformation that you've experienced, it was definitely to teach you to love thyself, to love yourself more. And I feel like you were able to get to the point of loving yourself because you realized that there was some healing that you needed to do based off of the traumas that you've experienced. And I know that you experienced traumas because you have karmic completion here. So whenever you're wrapping up a cycle, whenever you're completing something, that means that you have learned the necessary lessons. So let's tap in. So how does who or what you're attracting to you feel about you? So we still have that remedy playing. So I do feel like, when you find the remedy, it's like you found some sort of antidote. So you found, the root cause of something, a root cause of a problem. Thank you, Spirit. Your cards just fell. We got 85, which is another 4. A lot of 4s. Another 4. That's crazy. So another 4. You got 71 health. So how someone feels about you is I'm hearing that they feel very much that you are stronger, that you're getting stronger. If you were under the weather and suffering from any ailments, I definitely feel this is a positive card saying that, you could be focusing on your health and wellness right now. Maybe you're going through some new exercise regimen. You could be eating healthier, cleaner. You could be detoxifying your body. You could be doing an OMAD, live it, which is 1 meal a day. You could be fasting for the majority of the day and then eating 1 meal a day when you come home from work. You could be doing cleanses. You could be purging. You could be doing exercise routines. You could be walking 10,000 steps a day. I definitely feel that you could be taking your health and wellness very serious right now, especially if you suffered from some sort of ailment or some sort of health scare. I'm feeling strength. I'm feeling like you're getting stronger. I'm definitely feeling someone else could also be, up in their head about you. I always associate like the 71 health as like the 8 of swords, like someone is very much up in their head, stressing, overthinking, overwhelmed, very confused, anxious, mentally conflicted. I get that energy as well because this is how someone feels about you. So with that health, I definitely am getting a sense of like maybe even someone's a little conflicted mentally, or they're having, some sort of fog. It's like mental fog is what I'm gathering. And the song that's playing now is we got Donald Caesar. This is his Tiny Desk show performance, I should say. Someone's name could be Daniel or Caesar. I'm also hearing someone may like Caesar salad. Like someone eats a lot of Caesar salad. Someone could be tiny, like, petite. I'm saying like a very petite person. Someone could also be dating someone that could be considered like a tiny person or a little person, I think is what the appropriate reference is. I think they stopped calling them dwarves or midgets because that's not like politically correct. So I think someone could be dating, I don't know where I'm getting that, but I'm getting a sense of like someone is dating perhaps a little person, or someone that's listening and tuning in could be a little person. We got also 46 domestic harmony. So there was in fact some sort of ending. I'm hearing a painful ending with someone that you could have you could have planted seeds and roots with. This is someone that definitely ended things. It was like an untimely demise of a relationship. Maybe someone discovered another person was unfaithful, disloyal, was being dishonest, was cheating, very, promiscuous. I feel like this person also is looking at things. That's what led to the completion, because all these cards reduced to 9. and we started the reading with 9. Someone could be the Virgo, because that's what was playing when we first started the reading. And we started the reading at 11:32. 11:42 was it? I forgot what time we started the reading. But I feel like it was it 7 or 9? Now I feel like I'm seeing 5, 6, 7. Was that 7? I don't know. I don't know what time I started it as. Now I almost feel like I made a mistake in the breakdown of the number, because I don't know why I'm seeing 11:32 in my mind's eye when I first started the reading. But I don't know. If I did start the reading and say 9, it could have been 7 that started the reading. And the 7, we had that 7/7 spirituality card. So that could have been 777. But I digress. I don't know. I'm going to have to look back now. But I don't know why I'm getting this download. Like I could have misspoke earlier. You know, because that Mercury retrograde, which is happening at the very end of this month, it starts taking effect weeks in advance. Like, you know, I've been slipping up on my words, forgetting words, you know, so the communication could be a little jarred right now. But we also got 9/9 compassion. So I'm definitely feeling like, you know, someone is hoping that you're non-judgmental, that you show forgiveness, that you show a little bit of compassion. They also are fully aware that you're very intuitive. So you are seen as someone who's like that high priest or high priestess. Like you can see beyond the illusions, you can see through the nonsense, especially being as though they see that you have grown, that you're very spiritual, that you're very connected. This is something that this person is very much aware of. This is like you have divine knowledge and divine wisdom. With follow your dream, what's hidden, this person definitely sees you as a dream, a wish come true, a star. They see you in the spotlight. They could be hoping and wishing and praying on a star. You know, that things are repaired. They could also just see that you're following your dreams, you're pursuing your goals, that you're having some level of success in your endeavors. They see that you're winning. We got Rock Nest Monster. This is winners. So they definitely see you as a winner. They definitely see that you've overcome some obstacles. So in the past, I feel like they could have definitely counted you out. I feel this is someone, pardon me, I'm eating the grapes that I had at the bottom of my wine glass. But I feel like in the past, this is that person that took you for granted, took your kindness for weakness. Like they just assumed you were going to always be there, assumed you were always going to be this a certain type of person, but they didn't realize they was dealing with a Scorpio. Scorpios are always transforming, always, you know, regenerating, rejuvenating, you know, going through a startling metamorphosis. So you're always changing and transforming, and they didn't anticipate that. And you're also now, this new version of you is more pursuant of your dreams, of your goals. You're fearless now. They see you as a winner, like you're winning in life, you're winning at whatever it is you're doing, which is very attractive as well. What's hidden in the energy? All of your cards are falling, and that's still on the bottom of the deck. So that's confirming that you are going after something. You're definitely more independent now. And your independence is the foundation for your stability and your security and your overall happiness. I always say that because it's the facts. So when you are in a codependent relationship, that's when you are in that mindset where you have to overcompensate. You have to give more. You have to, you know, do more than what you are actually receiving. So you could have been taken for granted because you're someone who always wants everyone around you to feel loved, to feel comforted, to feel secure. But you may not get that back in return in those relationships, which is why there had to be some sort of completion, because you wasn't loving you right. So now that you have gone through that startling metamorphosis, you've gone through some sort of major transformation, you've overcome a lot of hardships and learned to love thyself. Now this energy is showing that you are individual. So those codependent connections, that's what you had to cut yourself free from. You don't need to be with people who, you know, exploit that. You want people who are going to hold themselves accountable. Even if you're trying to give, you need to have people around you like, nah, I'm good. You good, girl, sit your ass down. You ain't got to get, you know what I'm saying? You need that type of friend. You need that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Real ones, not people that are just willing to take, and not give, not reciprocate. And so now you know your worth and value. With this 11, you're making better decisions and choices, which are leading to karmic justice, which is leading to you having, things work out in your favor. Things are starting to turn around favorably. I definitely feel, because you're taking the time to really heal yourself, that you're starting to align with other like minds, which is why we saw 7-7 spirituality, spiritual partnership, because Spirit is saying that you taking that time out to heal and to gain that sense of independence, and learn to stand perpendicular on your square and be self-sufficient, self-reliant, to grow through experiences alone and learn how to, pay your own bills and do your own thing. That's going to now only strengthen the connections that you start to develop now, because you know your own worth. You have to know your worth and value. You have to love yourself before you expect that from others, and so this individuality is giving you that time period to kind of see the truth, discover the truth about yourself, to take accountability, and to work on those things. And that's what I see you doing. Now you're going to make better decisions, wiser choices in your mates, but I also feel like you're aligning with other like minds, because this 11 is like giving the justice. So not only is, you're receiving your just due, but I feel like I can see marriage in your future, because I feel like you're aligning with someone that's made in your image. So this is someone that's taking the time to heal themselves, taking the time to discover who they are, taking the time to, even love themselves more. Because I'm seeing like, the 2 of Cups with that card as well. And so now we have foursome D's, forgive me, girl. So someone could be from Staten Island. I definitely feel like there's someone who could have been very controlling, because when I hear force, I feel like this was someone who kind of forced maybe even their belief system on you, or forced certain things upon you. And, that could have been that codependent person, that person you may have felt codependency with. Or that person that could be very codependent on you. With forgive me, girl, I definitely was getting someone wanted to, perhaps apologize, someone that didn't want to be judged by their former actions. This is someone that definitely is seeking your compassion because they know they're in the wrong, especially if you distance yourself, isolate yourself from people, or cut yourself off, I should say, from people that you felt were exploiting your kindness. I definitely feel someone may be returning, because Mercury retrograde tends to bring a lot of people from your past back into your life. And I feel like someone very well may be coming back asking for your forgiveness. Someone could be from Staten Island. I'm definitely getting someone's name could have an F in it. Frank, Fernard, Frederick, Freddie, Felipe. I see Felipe. I'm also hearing someone could be a fraud. So don't fall for the okie doke. Like, use your intuition, because this is still 2. And that 2 deals with the high priest, high priestess. So it's always about using discernment, using your intuition before you make any decisions. Don't just let somebody come around and say sweet nothings, because that's exactly what it could be, sweet nothings. They could just be saying a bunch of ish, but don't mean any of it, and that's just what it could be. So you have to use your intuition, okay? So with this follow your dream, I'm definitely seeing you pursuing your dreams, your goals, especially with this creativity card as the overall energy. You're definitely tapping into your divinity as a divine feminine, divine masculine. So you could be like, building your wealth of knowledge in a particular area, as I said. That's someone that could be studying in a particular area. You could be honing certain skills, gifts, and talents. Mastering your craft in a particular area as well, which could lead to, a dream come true, which could lead to ultimate success, which could ultimately transform your life as you know it. So let's tap in. So what is the outcome for my beloved Scorpios? Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection, spirit. Wow, that was a lot of messages, and we got 13 here, and this says effort. So spirit is acknowledging the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the time, the energy, even, the naysayers, people that didn't believe in you, people that had you, they counted you out. They didn't really see your worth and value. But look what flew out. So you got spiritual career. So what did I just say? Honing skills, gifts, and talents, learning, learning in a particular area, something that you're learning, something you're mastering. And you're putting forth this effort, so it's showing that, like, I'm hearing, like, sometimes sleepless nights, so you could work a full-time job, but you could also be mastering something on the side where you're working into the wee hours of the night on a skill that you have, on some sort of talent, mastering some sort of talent. And Spirit is noticing and acknowledging that effort. And that effort that you put into something is really going to transform. It's going to pay off. It's going to transform your life. And we got to follow your dreams. So this is your motivation. So whatever this spiritual career is, Spirit is definitely saying that this is going to lead to some level of success. You got 2 more cards. 19, pride, and surrender. Those are mirror numbers. So you got 91, surrender, and 19, pride. So someone is definitely very proud. This is someone very egotistical. They're having some sort of ego death. They're putting their pride to the side. We got Tevin Campbell's always in my heart. So someone definitely still carries you in their heart and their spirit. So I'm seeing that there's definitely someone who's, putting their pride to the side. I feel like with the surrender card, that's also saying that someone is willing, someone is being told to be opened and receptive. Or this could be someone hoping that you're open and receptive, because this is that person that carries you in their spirit. You're always in their heart. But I feel like you have to use your intuition, use discernment, because whoever this is could be trying to manifest you into their life. They're hoping for some sort of full circle moment. And I do feel like this is that person that led, the lack of effort, their lack of consistency, honesty, loyalty is what led to the demise. Because this 13 is the death. So the lack of effort is what led to the demise of the situation as well. And I feel like, to some degree, you may always carry that person in your heart and your spirit, because maybe this is someone that you birth children from. Like, you don't just not love a person because you're not with them or because things didn't work out. You always will love and pray for a person, especially if you have children by another person. So with that always in my heart, I feel like that also could be another reason why, that song. Someone's name could be Tevin or Campbell. First, middle, or last. So let's tap in and see what else we got. All right. Get some additional messages. We're going to pull some messages from Psychic Tarot next. Oh, I love it. We got prosperity begins. So whatever this spiritual career is that you're tapping into, this new endeavor, this new business endeavor, or a new project, whatever this is that you are honing, those skills and gifts and talents on, it's definitely, the seeds that you've sowed in good faith are definitely going to harvest. I'm seeing that things will, result in financial freedom for you. So this blossoming abundance is saying that there's definitely wishes coming true. There's a lot of stability, a lot of success. This is like the Ace of Pentacles. So there's some sort of new offer. See that? When you tap into your power, your divinity as a divine feminine, divine masculine, you can manifest. You're manifesting success in your life. You're manifesting this new abundance. And that's what I feel. I felt like you were tapping into your power. That card always shows me like half man, half amazing. This is someone that's not only wise, but also very in tune, very intuitive, but also very much in their power, very courageous, very strong. They lean in their strength. They're even aware of their power. So with that 44, remember that's 8 here. And so that's what that power is. That's the strength card. So that's your overall energy. For us to see that card, that's confirming that you are definitely in your power. That's why that tower had to take place. That's why that karmic completion is here, because you're now entering into a new cycle. So that's beautiful. New cycle where you are leaning, you're leading and leaning on your strength. So let's tap in divine spirit of peace, power, and protection. And And we have radiant children, poke bowl. Someone could be from the UK. With radiant children, I definitely feel like you're seen as radiant, but I also feel your children are radiant as well. I feel like they could be star seeds. They could be little child prodigies, very intelligent, very articulate, very skilled, very gifted. I'm hearing indigo babies. Some of you can have indigo babies. I'm hearing some of you also may have had rainbow children, where you may have, and I send my condolences and love and healing to you. But I also heard that term, rainbow children. So you may have lost a child, but then you had another child right after, and that child is gifted because that child you lost is with your child. Like it's really there, it's still with you, and it's protecting your new child, if that makes any sense. That's deep. Wow. That's profound. That's profound. Like I said, I send healing energy to any of you that may have lost a baby, and congratulations for the new baby. I'm hearing someone could be experiencing that right now. A child is still with you. Oh. So radiant, you're seen as radiant. So we got a couple of cards that flew out, and we have this 4, another 4. A lot of 4s showing up. So 4 is very significant. I feel like 4 is also telling there's going to be a lot of stability, a lot of happiness. There's definitely going to be a masculine that's going to be that alpha male, and not, someone who is deemed controlling, but just very, very protective of their family. So they prioritize their family, that's why you had that karmic completion, because what did I say? You was dealing with a lot of people wearing masks, people who had ulterior motives. Remember when we was breaking this card down? So a lot of deception and envy. This is what you was dealing with. People that were really trying to bring you down. They were riding your coattails. They were literally secretly envious and jealous of you because you are, someone who's very radiant, gifted, skilled. Even your children. If you have children, someone could be very jealous of the relationship you have with your children, and that's a very troubled person. There's actually adult people that be jealous of others' children's, jealous of the relationship you may have with your children because they may not have one with theirs. And so they may try to infiltrate those relationships and point out things that they don't like in your child because they don't like themselves and they're just jealous. But even if it's not that type of scenario, someone was just very much jealous of you. A lot of deceptions, a lot of lies. This person wore a mask, which means they weren't being their authentic self. You also have the sacrifice card, which is the hangman. So spirit put you in the sacrificial position to start looking at things, the way they were and not the way you were hoping it to be, because I feel like you were hoping for the best. You were hopeful. You were, very optimistic about a relationship that was obviously not honest. Like this is not someone that is being, authentic or being their authentic self if they got a big mask on their face, and look at that mug. This is someone that was very angry. They projected a lot. They were very intimidated by your radiance, by your wisdom, your wise dome, by your strengths, and so this is the type of energy that just takes, never gives, because they feel entitled. So that's that jealous energy. And spirit sat you down so that you could look at things. This is a sacrificial position for you to look at things as they were and not have rose-colored glasses on. And so that's what you did. You started to discover the hate, the vitriol that this person truly had for you. And that's when you took a step back. That's when you took a pause. Or that's when you ultimately just cut it off. But this was definitely very, very necessary. Whatever that tower was, because we saw that tower type of energy, and that tower really led to an awakening for you. It led to you seeing the actual truth and not living in this false sense of reality, and you see how your hands are kind of tied behind you, and not really tied, but you have them behind you. So, to some degree, it's like a sense of powerlessness that you may have felt in this person's presence. But I feel like you finally saw this person for who they were. You discovered the illusion that you was a part of. And so now you can walk away from that situation, knowing what actions to take. And so with this 8 here that your card's reduced to, you know, that's you moving forward, taking action and leaving that behind because you had that epiphanous moment. So that was a sacrificial position Spirit put you in. And so you had to take the time out to heal, to rejoice, you know, to rest, to rejuvenate. This is you healing from discovering that truth. So you grounded yourself, isolated yourself to some degree to really, you know, to really come to terms, you know, with the truths of the matter. And this is another 4 as well. And then you also have this crown chakra. So you've become wiser. You know, with this energy, this crown chakra just shows that you started to trust your intuition more. And when you use your intuition and you use discernment, it never leads you astray. You know, when you are just trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, even though there's red flags being thrown all over the place, and then you end up in a very difficult circumstance, you know, you only have yourself to blame because you didn't pay attention to the red flags, which ultimately leads to that tower moment. But here, what you're attracting, who or what you're attracting to, you feel about you, or not about you, but what you're attracting to you, what's coming in for you, is you have this foundation and achievement card. So I do feel like, you know, what you're seeing here is with this energy of self-discipline where you're prioritizing yourself now, and you're not doing things, you know, obligatory anymore, and you're doing what you feel is best for you, best for your family. You definitely are going to have some sort of, you know, stability and security and success in the home and the hearth. You know, these are all 4s yet again. Remember, I showed you that earlier. Even this card is a 4. So 4, 4, 4. Something could be happening in 4 days, 4 weeks, 4 months, maybe in the month of August. Month of April. It could be the month of August because this is 44, which is 8. So that wasn't a slip. That wasn't a mistake. There's no such thing. But all 4s here yet again. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So 24 breaks down to 6 yet again. So this is saying that something that, you know, you could have been kind of waiting for could be returning, because I'm seeing like the 6 of Cups, like something that you've been waiting for could be returning. 6 is also the Lovers, so there could be love that could be transpiring. 4 is the number of the divine masculine. It's also the number of the heart chakra. So someone from your past could be returning to admit or confess that they love you. You know, 6 is that number of the Lovers. Lovers represent, you know, it could be someone from the past or someone that may feel like a past life love. Almost like that twin flame, yin yang. We did have spiritual partnership and spirituality cards show up in the beginning of the reading. So this could be a very divine and sacred union. And sacred means secret. So that could be, you know, a secret admirer is what I'm hearing. But this person, what they have in mind and what their intentions are is to build this home, to build happiness, to bring joy, to protect this family, to be a provider. This is what they're envisioning. So this is very beautiful. What we have playing right now is we have Mariah Carey featuring Cameron. This is called Boy. So this is a someone that could have been very immature, because a boy is, you know, someone that is immature. You know, a boy is a very immature version of a masculine energy. A man is absolutely what a woman or womb man would desire. So, you know, maybe this person is someone that was acting very childish. Maybe, you know, they experienced some sort of dark period. We got Darkest here by Torquemonsta. So Darkest, maybe this is someone that was experiencing a very dark period, or someone that may have had you in one of your darkest periods in your life. Maybe your experience with this person was one of the darkest periods in your life. I feel like with that oh boy, it's almost like an expression like, oh boy, here we go. But you know, whoever this is that's coming, I do feel like, you know, there could be someone that's a masculine energy that could be coming in. As I always say, use your discernment. Let's tap in. Why is this 44? Environment. 1, new beginning. 33, communication. 44, self-discipline here. For my beloved Scorpios, we got financial and material changes here. 5, when we pull the card for how cool, what you're attracting to, you feel about you. So your cards keep falling on the floor. So the first card we have is we got love begins. So that oh boy could be, like I said, that could be an expression. Like you're going to be very surprised because that's an expression like, oh boy, like, oh boy, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, so this is love begins. So this is like a new love ship. This is two people pouring into a connection, and you're pouring into this river, which is infinite, you know? So that means there's going to be infinite love. There's a healing energy here. Two different people pouring into this. With third eye, Spirit is saying use discernment, use your intuition. I feel you may also know that someone could be coming in as well. Like you could be picking up on it intuitively or discerningly. You may just be, you know, again, just someone who has divine knowledge and divine wisdom. So you're very sensitive. You may have a very amplified type of, you know, ability to tap into spiritual energy, psychic energy, or you may be able to pick up on telepathic energy as well, you know, messaging. With patience and planning, someone could be patiently planning to come towards you, to embark upon something that they're desiring. With these two pillars here, that shows a level of stability, you know, to have these two pillars. So that's why they're patiently taking their time, because I'm feeling like they want to get it right. 7 is the number of the Chariot, so that's about not only being assertive, but also there's a sense of balance, a sense of harmony, that this energy is wanting to bring into a situation. You know, someone could be dealing with some very dark circumstances right now, or they could be dealing with a lot of heavy type of energy. You know, maybe someone is in the dark about how someone may feel about them. How someone feels about you is they know that there's some changes they need to make. They could be struggling financially, but they're working some things, crunching some numbers and figuring some things out. We got SWV, you're the one. So someone is willing to make sacrifices because they realize that you're the one. With this financial and material changes, someone could be really, you know, working some extra hours, overtime, taking on another job, doing what they have to do to provide stability and security, or to reach some sort of goal. Because it's like, I see that they're trying to work towards something so that they can offer you something tangible here, because they feel that you're the one. So how does who or what I love Scorpios are attracting to them feel about them? Why is the 71 health, 46 domestic harmony, 99 compassion, and 22 intuition here? Thank you, Spirit. Bottom of the deck, we got obstacles and challenges. So someone is definitely trying to overcome some challenges. A lot is going on in their lives. This is the card when we pull what's hidden. So there's definitely heartache and loss. So this person is feeling a lot of pain, you know, because they do see that you are moving forward, that you've moved on. I also feel a great deal of this pain is because they're discovering that what they didn't hold sacred or value, they're realizing you're the one, and they let you go, you know. So it's almost like they fumbled you. They're also recognizing that they've caused you a lot of heartache, caused you a lot of loss. You could have had to struggle financially to get to a place where you're finally coming out of, you know, a drought period. But you've overcome a lot of those obstacles, no help to them. With this energy of obstacles and challenges, this is what's hidden. Someone could be dealing with a lot of karma. I definitely feel like this is, you know, with this 5, a lot of challenges that someone is overcoming. But when you look at this individuality card, this definitely shows that, you know, that's someone who's still got dog in them, still got that fight in them. And you obviously have a lot of angelic protection around you, because you could see that there's these beautiful lightning bugs that are just lighting the path to lead to, you know, the next steps. And if you look closely, this plank is, you know, it's damaged, it's broken, and if you take the wrong step, it could lead to your ultimate death. But your individuality, which is your independence, you may have felt alone. You may have felt like you've gotten yourself into a lot of circumstances that, you know, it was just very challenging, and it really led to just kind of pain, a lot of pain that you had to endure trying to overcome these difficult obstacles, feeling alone, feeling like you were being punished in many instances. But this was really testing you. This was really preparing you for your independence ultimately, because we have to all be fully capable of taking care of ourselves before we expect others to take care of us, because then that does lead to codependency, because you will feel incompetent or incapable of doing things on your own, and you'll always be relying upon another person. So with this, you had to face many challenges, many obstacles, but you overcome them because you had help come, you know, to assist you, to aid you. So someone is definitely seeing that you've overcome these obstacles, and they're realizing more and more that you're the one for them. You also could have been someone who did not speak your truth, speak your you know, speak up, use your throat as much as you could have in the past. But that's another skill that you have learned in this as well, is to communicate and express yourself as well. You know, SWV stands for Sisters with Voices, and I just feel like you started to use your voice. You wasn't allowing someone to silence you and to manipulate and quiet you, you know. So let's tap in. Why is it 11 individuality here? So that card just fell out. Thank you, Spirit. We got Rejoice Celebration here. So you will be having a celebratory moment. There's some good news coming in. And there goes that Temptation card. So that's the devil. And so this individuality, we got that. And then we have I'm sorry, who's this? So this is this person. So with the 15, the devil, this temptation, someone, this is what's hidden. This person could be dealing with temptations, addictions. You know, this is someone that could definitely be, you know, even dealing with sexual addictions, drug addictions, drinking, maybe someone up in their head. With individuality, I feel like this person sees that you could be really, you know, really enjoying your singlehood, really independent, really, you know, doing things on your own, really being successful, really challenging yourself. And there's someone that's trying, you know, kind of hidden with this hidden motive, that's wanting to take you off your square. With this 6 and this 2, that breaks down to 9. I'm sorry, that breaks down to 8, pardon me. So this is that person that's your karmic, that was that karmic person. I'm getting a karmic, some sort of karmic tie. This is definitely someone that tries to tempt you, tries to draw you in. We have Drake, and this is called From Time. So this person may, you know, do this from time to time, which means that they're very calculated, where they wait for certain times to pop up or certain times to say something. So with From Time, this is not someone that's very consistent in their actions. So this is someone that may call you at a certain time or pop up at a certain time. And remember what I said with, you know, Mercury retrograde, that number 6 definitely speaks to someone from your past trying to come back, trying to return. And that's what this 15 breaks down to, is 6. So this is someone who could be trying to return. This is that person that could potentially be responsible even for that heartache and loss, as I said. They're hoping to have this moment to, you know, rejoice, celebrate. This is definitely that person that was very egotistical and proud, that was very deceptive, because the devil is deceptive. They'll do and say anything to get whatever it is that they want. So that's why I was saying that you have to be very, you know, use your intuition, Use discernment. Why is this devil here? Let me get another message to clarify this for my beloved Scorpios, for why this devil's hidden. Because this is the energy that's hidden, beloveds. Why is this devil here? Clarifying 11, individuality. Thank you, Spirit. And so we have sacral. So they see that you are, again, enjoying your independence. They see that you are putting you first, prioritizing you, and they're trying to entice you. They're trying to distract you off your path, trying to tempt you. So you're moving to the beat of your drum. That's irritating this devil, but you're fully aware. You're very in tune. You're very much aware of what this devil is capable of, and you're also aware of what they're trying to do. And I feel like something's telling me to look up the meaning of Drake, because Drake is short for Draco, and I feel like that's some sort of, like, I don't know if it's a devil. Let me see. Okay, so serpent. Something told me to break down the meaning of Draco. So Draco is a masculine name of an ancient Greek and Latin origin that means dragon or serpent. It is steeped in mythology, historically associated with an ancient lawgiver, and has a distinct cultural presence. Okay, so I'm going with serpent. So this is that snake. This is someone that you're fully aware is kind of creeping and lurking in the backgrounds. Someone that's been watching you, because remember earlier I was saying you could have someone that was like a secret admirer. Only this person may not be admiring you. They could be just kind of still in that energy of envy and jealousy. So with sacral chakra, I feel that's your energy and individuality, because these are both twos when you break down this 11. This is just telling me that this is you. So you're very stable, very secure, because this breaks down to 4. Even though that's 11, we break it down 1 plus 1, which is 4, 2 and 1. I mean 2 and 2. So that's what I'm gathering from that. So I feel like you're very stable. You're very, very much in an energy where you love yourself, where you're prioritizing yourself, and this devil is trying to distract you, trying to tempt you to either go back to them, even saying things like I still love you, or I miss you, or I'm still carrying you in my spirit, whatever the case may be. So you just have to be very mindful of that. Use your intuition, use your discernment, which I feel you are, because you have this magician, this magi here, that awareness. I feel this person is secretly bitter. Now you got Shantae Moore. So someone's name could be Shantae or Moore. Someone has definitely become more bitter, is what I heard. I feel this person is very bitter. They haven't learned anything. Because remember, we had boy, and I was just feeling like, you know, boy is a masculine energy, but it isn't a man. And I feel like they see that you're growing, transforming, but someone is still very childish, still very immature. Even if that's a feminine energy, we're just going with the energy and not so much the genders. So for my masculines, just flip it. Even if it's boy, that just means that that's a feminine energy that's acting like a young lady, you know, a young girl. But with this awareness, I feel like your crown is open. As I said earlier, I feel like you have divine knowledge, divine wisdom. You're very in tune, very connected. So what for the outcome? Why is 78 spiritual career, 85 follow your dream, 19 pride, and 91 surrender? Here for the outcome for my beloved Scorpios. Let me get a message of peace, message of power, message of protection, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And then we have, look at that, conflict and defeat. Someone is feeling very defeated. They're feeling defeated because, first of all, there's no communication. Whatever secret competitions they had you in, you didn't allow that to affect you. I feel that this person is going deeper and deeper into some sort of dark path, because they're bitter, and you're getting better while they're still bitter. They're jaded. Look at this disruption. This is 16. So this person has a lot that's being disrupted in their life. I'm hearing energy blocks. You know, their chakras completely blocked. So this is this energy. I just feel like because this is 16, that breaks down to 7, and this is 7. So this is that same person, 16 and 7. So they're only creating more tension, confusion, blocks in their life. The more they project this envy, this jealousy, the more they operate in that energy, we could clearly see the work you're doing. You know, we could clearly see that instead of you turning bitter after this, you know, karmic, you know, shit show, pardon my language, but that's exactly what it was. You took time to introspect. You took those sacrificial moments of pause to go within, to self-regulate, to emotionally regulate, to work on the self, to ground yourself, to heal. You know, this is a very intentional act, you know, and this led to you becoming very in tune with your higher self, with the God frequency, with Christ consciousness, with your spirit team, with your spirituality. This is a graduation to get to the crown chakra. That means you went from the base, the root, you know, root chakra, root cause, to, you know, all the way up to your crown. And you started to tap into your divinity, you know, and then it shows you've overcome. You persevered through all of those obstacles, whilst this person is still operating in disruption, deception, envy, you know, and this is only blocking them. So the hate they're projecting is only blocking them and causing them even more darkness in their life, because you're divinely protected. You're protected by your spirit team. You're protected by your angels, especially when you're not doing anything to someone out of anger. If you're not being, you know, sending evil intentions, if you're not doing anything, they don't realize you're highly spiritually ranked. So all that they're throwing out to you is only being returned back to them because you're very protected. And so we have right now Mary J. Blige. Someone could be from Yonkers, New York. Someone's name could be Mary. With You Remind Me, I'm definitely feeling like, you know, there's some sort of nostalgia. Let me get one more message to clarify the overall energy for my beloved Scorpio. I can't make this ish up. Look at this ish. Look at that. Ain't nobody gonna stop you, you know, from shining. Nobody can stop the sun from shining. It's written in the stars. It's inevitable for you to succeed because you did the work. Look at the cards that flew out to describe your energy, in comparison to that person's energy that you just cut yourself free from. So you got this envious, deceptive person that's very disruptive. Didn't I say someone who's like, you know, mentally conflicted? Like, I just get a lot of darkness with that energy. This is your energy. Very much self-aware. You're poised. You're powerful. You're in tune. You're connected. You're flourishing. You're abundant. You're beautiful. You're attractive. You're a mother, a father. You're spiritually aware, grounded. Like, you're fully in tune. And that's yet again 13, the transformation you made, which breaks down to what? 4, stability, security, solidarity, love, a love of self. That's why her heart chakra is glowing. When you love thyself, then you can, you know thyself. And you only get to loving yourself after you heal, you know. And you had to heal after overcoming. That green deals with the heart chakra, but it's also a color of healing. It's a color of recuperating, of rejuvenating your spirit, which is what you did when you were taking a rest, taking that moment of pause to look within, to connect with the Mother Gaia, with the angels, the ancestors, with Mother Earth, you know, Daughter Earth, Mother Gaia, Daughter Earth. When you connected and grounded yourself amongst the trees, out in nature, whatever you did to connect. That's why you're going to be rejoicing and celebrating, because when you do the work, you get rewarded. That's why we saw that ace of, that Ace of Pentacles with, you know, prosperity begins earlier. So with rejoicing, celebration, I'm definitely feeling like you're going to be celebrating some sort of good news. Maybe there's someone that you're going to hear from that you haven't heard from in a while. And this is someone that matches your fly, you know, because this 33, that's 3 and 3. So this is someone who is like potentially someone that could have been manifesting you, or you're manifesting them. This is someone that's like right there, ready to come in. Because I'm seeing like, you know, the 3 of Cups, you know, but I'm also getting a sense of like the 3 of Wands. That's a beautiful energy of action. Someone taking action. Someone's going to take, you know, take initiative and make a call, communicate, express something they've been wanting to say. We got 5 financial and material changes here. Oh, this is the wrong deck. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Pardon me. So why is, let me see. You remind me, yes you do. Oh, okay. So I'm tripping. I got lost for a second. So, oh my goodness. Oh, outcome. So let's tap in. So we got hope here. So this hope is definitely showing me that someone is remaining hopeful, very optimistic, you know, and that's what, you know, when you put your pride to the side, you know, that's when you know, you kind of like, you know, just wish and pray, send up some prayers, some affirmations, some daily, you know, affirmations, you know, that things will work themselves out. I got extra cards for this. That's why I was tripping, like, what in the world was I doing? But that was good to do because it just confirmed what I was saying there. So with this base chakra, getting to the root cause, that's the same as the root chakra, and that's your energy, you know. And then we also have stand your ground. So I do see that you are standing your ground and you're not allowing someone to just come in and say whatever they want to say, or, you know, this is you really speaking your truth and establishing healthy boundaries and protecting your peace, your peace, protecting your peace, and not allowing someone to come in and distract you off your path, even if this person is apologizing. I feel like you are going to be open and receptive to people that you feel are being authentic or being honest or being, you know, being vulnerable and transparent, but you're not just going to let anybody just come back and say any old thing to you, because that's not the type of time you're on. So with this energy, you still got the you got the harmony card on the bottom of the deck, which is beautiful. So I do feel like there is someone, and you see that green that they're creating yet again. That's the same green that you have. So when you heal that self, you learn to love that self. When you love that self, you attract someone that also can give you the love that they too have worked hard to acquire. So look at that. What's underneath there is spiritual strength, solar plex. This is beautiful, powerful energy. So you're spiritually stronger, just as I said. So you're definitely resonating on a higher frequency. And this shows like you graduated to this level, which is why we saw spirituality and spiritual partnership when we first touched the deck. So I do love that for Scorpios, because I do know that you work very hard just on your own growth, on your own transformation. Like, nobody changes and transforms as much as a Scorpio in a lifetime. You go through many deaths. And that's actual factuals, like you are. That's why the death card is your card, you know, because you teach others what they need to do to, you know, to change and to grow. I gotta plug this computer in before it dies. Okay, there we go. So let's get some messages from the Energy Oracle deck, beloveds. I love it. Archangel Michael on the bottom of the deck. And remember, that's what I said. I felt like you all were being protected because you just have this energy that's just hyper focused on you. And they're hyper focused on you because, like I said, they're projecting, you know, but you're fully aware. You know, you're definitely aware of that energy. But Archangel Michael is here to get rid of the residue, you know, to cut you free from those toxic karmic cycles, ties, you know, that have been holding on to you, trying to tempt you, trying to block you off your path, trying to keep you in this perpetual state of pain and hurt and loss. But you're not having it. You know, you're standing your ground, because I feel like you already know your worth and value. So you're not falling for the okie doke. So this is definitely showing that you are powerful. And you got Fonte here, and this is called So Help Me God. So I do feel like, you know, Archangel Michael is here answering your call. You may have called upon Archangel Michael or your angels for assistance, for aid, and they've come ready and prepared to protect and to, you know, cut you free from anything or anyone that may have been a hindrance in your journey. So let's tap in. Let's tap into the outcome. What's the outcome? Or the overall energy. Pardon me, I'm tripping. What is the overall energy, spirit? Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection for my beloved Scorpios. Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection for my beloved Scorpios. Get a message of peace, power, and protection, spirit. Get a message of peace, power, and protection. I see you're walking away from what no longer serves you, cutting yourself free from those people that were wearing masks, the attachments. Even you were wearing masks. You know, you discovered you weren't being your authentic self, that you wasn't prioritizing yourself or loving you as much as you should have. And that in and of itself is a mask as well. So this mask you took off once you discovered that you were able to see clearly, you know, the entanglements and what could have been causing your blockages as well. So let's tap in. What is the overall energy? Why is this 10 karmic completion? Let me get all these cards spread out so I can call all of these cards. 10 karmic completion, the 12 sacrifice, the 4 rest and rejuvenate, the 7 crown, the 3 creativity, the 4 perseverance, the 7 envy and deception, the 1 awareness, the 3 fertility, and the 16 disruption card for the overall energy for my beloved Scorpios. Thank you, spirit. Bottom of the deck. Look at this deceit. There's someone just lurking and lingering, boy. That's why you have Fonte. Someone could be from Durham, North Carolina. Fonte is from the group Little Brother, which is a rap group. See that? Hostility. So what didn't kill you made you stronger. You was dealing with a very hostile energy. Someone that is very deceptive. Someone very jealous. I feel like you got a lot of jealous and envious people around you, just constantly looking for a fight. Very just evil intentions. This right here is what you've been dealing with. You know, the deceit came out 2 times. And, you know, when someone is being deceitful, that's something they're intentionally doing to, like, confuse another person, to influence action, you know, to influence a particular outcome. You know, that's almost like a, you know, ain't no almost. That's a Decpticon. That's someone that's very intentional about what they're doing. But what they're really jealous of is your strength. They're really envious of the fact that you're still here standing strong, and more importantly, that your angels are protecting you. You have that protection from Archangel Michael, from your spirit team, and that's why this person grows. It feels like they're growing even more bitter, as that song showed. They're growing bitter. They're not getting better. You're growing. You're evolving, but that energy you're dealing with is growing more bitter, more angry, you know, through each experience. And I feel like this is not even someone that you communicate with, or someone that you haven't seen or spoken to in a while. But they're secretly watching you. And this is the reason why they get more angry, more bitter. This is someone trying to manipulate things. This is someone very calculated. And with knowledge, the pirate, and this is called block work. So this person knows that you know the ledge, like you have the ability to see, because knowledge is when what you acquire to become wiser. But with block work, this person is trying to block your work, trying to block what you're working towards. So who or what you're attracting to you is very deceptive, very calculating. They're patiently planning your demise, is what I heard in my mind's eye. But you're fully aware. They could also be trying to block, the work you're doing towards even, a new love ship. So they could be trying to come in and sabotage that, which is why somebody could be returning, trying to say things that they think you want to hear, or try to say things to have you confused and conflicted about what you want. Don't allow anyone to block anything that you're doing. Okay, so let's tap in. So why is this 44 environment, 1 new beginning, 33 communication, 41 self-discipline, 1 love begins, 7 patience and planning, and 6 third eye chakra here for who or what our beloved Scorpios are attracting to them. Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection. Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And so we have this thinking man here. So this thinking man is trying to manipulate. This is someone trying to outsmart another person. And look at that. Crown chakra. You're aware of it. Your angels are also telling you, use intuition. Look what's playing. We got MC Breed, ain't no future in frontin'. So this is someone fronting. And as breed, I'm just seeing like you're the last of a dying breed. Like you're a rare breed. Like you're someone very different. You're someone very unique. You're rare. So this is someone that knows that they will never bump into another you. But this is someone so proud, so egotistical, so deeply disconnected from reality that they're still projecting. This thinking person, this thinking man, they're sitting here trying to figure out a way to manipulate a situation. That 46 is 10. This is someone you had some sort of ending with. This is definitely that same energy that's here. The domestic harmony. 10s represent endings. This is someone that's trying to figure out how to have some sort of full circle, how to have this moment to return. But they're sitting here trying to manipulate a situation, because that 10 reduces to 1. That's the magician. This is the same person that caused some sort of demise in a family dynamic. The tower that I was seeing earlier, like a tower fell, that led to heartache and loss, that led to some sort of completion. You're fully aware because you're picking up on that energy as well. You're very intuitive. And where ain't no future in fronting is just another way of saying like this person is fronting. They thinking perpetrating the fraud is like, I heard fraud earlier, like someone was fraudulently trying to return or fraudulently presenting in a way that they, wanted something that they absolutely have no intentions on repairing. They're coming in to disrupt. They're coming in to cause disruption. They're coming in deceptive because they're envious of your strength. They're coming in deceptive and hostile because you've reached the level of self-mastery as this divine feminine / divine masculine, because you're stronger, you're wiser. Wow. So let's tap in. Why is so you got this energy here with the crown chakra, the 7th chakra. And remember that card also flew out here. And this was one of the graduating moments that you had after taking that emotional withdrawal moment and grounding yourself and really healing that self and taking time to take those sacrificial moments of pause to search within. to ultimately gain that awareness that that crown chakra provides you. So let's tap in and see, how does who or what you're attracting to you feel about you? They know you're intuitive. They know that you can pick up on their energy. They also know that you're rare. So why is the 71 health? Didn't I say somebody was up in their head? I feel like someone is up in their head stressing. Why is 46 domestic harmony, 99 compassion, 22 intuition? That confirms again you're in your crown energy as well. And 3 heartache and loss here for how who or what our beloved Scorpios are attracting to them. How? So we got the daughter value, which is here, and we got Ray Charles, hit the road Jack. So this person definitely was blind. It was blind to the fact of who you were. They were blind to the fact of you knowing your worth, knowing your value. And you also may have sent this person a packing. Because with hit the road, how they feel about you is like, you out. You're not turning back. You're not going back. But the card you have, you got patience. So patience is divine timing. That 16 says that there was a lot of tower moments. So they're definitely fully aware that even after a tower moment that took place, you were still patient with them. You know, you were still, you know, kind. You did not turn bitter like they did. You focused your energy on healing yourself. They also see this daughter romance opening up for you. So they could definitely be secretly watching, and they see that you've taken the time to heal and you're forming new relationships, that this person is watching. This is the energy they may have had you in, you know, where you were second guessing yourself and kind of afraid to get out there, afraid to take that leap of faith, afraid to, you know, leave what you deemed was, you know, a comfort zone. You see how she's just kind of dreaming and looking at like this big vast world and dreaming about what it could be like instead of going out and experiencing it. How they feel about you is there's definitely love, but that love, you know, it's a thin line between love and hate. And when someone carries so much visceral and hostility and still in a deceptive type of energy, it could become dangerous. But these angels have been showing up for you, and they're opening up these new doors, these new chapters, and it's simply because you've taken the time to heal yourself. So that's how they feel about you, is that you have taken the necessary time to repair, to recover, to rejuvenate. And so that's the energy that this person fears the most. Rising power to D'Angelo. They're watching you fall in love with another person. See that? Because what's hidden is fall in love. We got D'Angelo and the Soultronics, fall in love. So you could be falling in love. I feel like that's why this person's trying to come back and tempt you, to distract you, to throw you off your path. 1111, remember I was breaking down 1111, which is what this 4 also, you know, resonates as, is 1111. You could be coming into union with a real soulmate, a real twin flame, and this devil is trying to come back to distract you off that path, because you could be falling in love or rising in love with another divine masculine. That 1111 is the twin flame. So this could be someone that's going to feel like a soulmate, cosmic companion. This is someone that you may have some sort of very divine connection with, a lot of synergy, chemistry, familiarity, commonalities with that individual. And this is also leading to some sort of wealth and abundance. I feel it's because whatever skills, gifts, and talents you've been honing, it's definitely opening up new doors of opportunity. So let's tap in. Why is this 11 individuality, 2 sacral chakra, and 15 temptation here? So this card flew up and fell sideways, so we're going to take that. See that storm warning? This is someone trying to disrupt the peace in your life, especially if there's a new love interest. So this is a warning. This isn't necessarily like, oh, there's a storm that is absolutely happening. No, this is a warning. So this is spirit saying that there's going to be someone just rushing in, trying to cause all kind of confusion. And this 15 and 7 This 15 and 10 reduces to 7, and this is the same energy. That same deceptive person is coming in as. So just be mindful. They're using any tactics necessary to disrupt. You know, that's another 7. To disrupt your peace. And this is 7. So be mindful. That 15 is the devil plus that 10. That's their intention to cause some sort of major ending. But you could potentially be falling in love with someone. Someone could be from Virginia. Someone's name could be D'Angelo. So let's happen. Let's get one more message. Why is the storm warning here long? Clarifying the 11 individuality, 2 sacral chakra, 15 temptation for what's hidden in the energy for my beloved Scorpios. Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Bottom of the deck, we got the healer of the ages. So you absolutely, that's going to be the skills that you're tapping into for that spiritual career. This is what's on the bottom of the deck when we pull what's hidden, but this is what's flew out. So the third chakra is your solar plexus. So it's like, you can feel energy, and you can definitely feel in the gut of your spirit, the pit of your stomach. I just heard in my mind's eye that this energy is lingering and that someone doesn't have good intentions for you. But don't worry, because there's definitely going to be some sort of, justice in a situation, because I see these scales. That always makes me think of justice, even though this is 6 contract. I feel like you're still coming into union with the yin to your yang, yang to your yin. I feel that's what this person is trying to disrupt and stop. That's why D'Angelo is saying, fall in love, because you're going to absolutely have some sort of new divine connection with someone that is your soul mate, twin flame, cosmic companion. I was even getting that with the 1111 here. The 4, you know what I'm saying? That 4 vibrates as 1111 vibrates as 4, I should say. And that 4 is, the heart chakra. So that's confirming that you do have what's hidden. You don't realize is you have new love coming in. And this 4, another 4, 1111, is the yin to your yang twin flame. So that's like, again, that person you have a lot of synergy and chemistry with. This could lead to marriage, matrimony. This could lead to a real, long-term partnership. So that's a beautiful energy, and I think that's why someone is trying to disrupt, confuse, deceive another person. They may even say things that they think you want to hear that they've never said in the past, and they never said it because they didn't feel it and they didn't mean it, And I feel like rejection was ultimately for your protection. That's what I just heard in my mind's eye. I was like, someone may have very well rejected you, broke your heart, did whatever, but it was for your protection. You didn't see it at the time, but it was a necessary pain that you had to grow from. With this healer of the ages, I feel one of the pains that you had to grow from was just learning how to heal thyself, because every great healer has to first heal themselves. And I think that's ultimately why Spirit is saying that's why you're pursuing some sort of dream. That's why you are going to embark upon some sort of new spiritual career, because whatever you've discovered just in healing yourself, you've discovered that you could be a healer, either a Reiki healer, master teacher. You may also be someone who can, channel information. You are someone who's very high spiritually ranking. That's why Archangel Michael showed up as well, just to, protect you on this journey, because it's definitely your calling. It's something that you are destined for, is to help others on their path of healing as well. So every great healer has to first heal themselves. There's that broken heart. So you had to heal your heart, and you had to learn to walk away. You had to walk away from someone that constantly made you feel inferior, constantly made you feel unworthy, and you had to learn to love yourself more. So that was your lesson, is self-love. And we got De La Soul, Better Listen, Rising Power to Dave, True Joy. So yeah, I feel like now you listen. I feel like in the past you didn't listen, but I feel also with Better Listen, it's like, now you better listen to your intuition. Now you have to trust your and use, more importantly, your discernment when it comes to circumstances. That 51 just shows that, this 15, which is the devil here, is the one that led to you realizing, that you were responsible for healing yourself, So that energy right there, that's the mirrored energy that you had to deal with, So let's tap in. So why is this 78? Spiritual career, 85, follow your dream, 19, pride, 91, surrender, 1, base chakra, and 7, stand your ground here for the outcome for my beloved Scorpios. Let me get a message of peace, power, and protection, spirit. What is the outcome? Let me get a beautiful message. Thank you, spirit. Whoa, okay, cards flew everywhere. There goes the magician. You are the magi. You manifest your thoughts into reality. You manifest what you desire into reality. All right, there's too many cards. I'm going to put these cards back. But I do see that spirit wants me to just kind of expound. So you have the adjacent possibilities, which is saying that you have many options. I feel like someone also was treating you like an option. That was why that pride was there, because someone definitely wasn't operating in, their true and authentic self. They didn't appreciate you. This is someone that lacked appreciation. I definitely feel like, someone is very strategic. They're strategically trying to figure out how to come towards you, or trying to be very calculating. I feel like you're picking up on any energy. You're very in tune, intuitive. I feel you're also very protective of your energy, taking the necessary time to rejuvenate. You're also very successful and abundant. And I feel like you've opened up your throat chakra, or you've discovered something creative and artistic that you're very talented in, and it's going to lead to success. You've absolutely walked away from people, places, and things that led to a lot of heartache, a lot of loss. I feel someone else that you're walking away from is going to be left brokenhearted. So those are the messages that Spirit wanted me to clarify. All right, we got Father MC. This is called One Night Stand. So for some of you, you may have learned that someone that you were dealing with, that they could have had a one night stand. That could have resulted in them becoming a father. That's what I just heard in my mind's eye. So let's tap in. Let's get some messages for the outcome. Thank you, Spirit. A couple of cards flew out. There goes Envy yet again. Different deck, same messages. That's how you know someone is really, really, really perturbed by your growth and by you choosing yourself. So someone's very envious of the abundance that's flowing in your life. Let me put it where, because someone's definitely watching you. Didn't I say, someone's secretly watching you, secret admirer, or secret someone just watching? You got a lot of abundance blossoming, which means the seeds that you were sowing are now starting to harvest. But you also have this happy family, something that this person is trying to, block, or something this person is envious you were able to recreate with another person. So your messages have flown out, and we are going to see what they are. So the first message we have is broken heart. So I feel like this is ultimately saying the outcome, whoever that person was that you walked away from, they're going to be left brokenhearted, because these are the same cards that we just saw that I expounded on. So they're going to be left brokenhearted, because I feel like you're standing your ground, protecting your peace, and establishing and maintaining those boundaries. Their pride and ego have them so anxious, so stressed out, because I feel like the truth is starting to, set this person free, or they're starting to see the truth of the matter and starting to realize the mistakes that they've made. I see that you're taking action. You're moving forward with this 17. This is about wishes coming true. This is also about things moving very quickly and rapidly in your life. I feel like you're definitely pursuing those dreams, those goals. I feel like your business is going to take off, or whatever career move that you are embarking upon, or whatever new endeavors, they're going to take off, and things are going to progress very beautifully and become very balanced. And someone is going to be left here just in the same old deceptive, energy. Still deceptive, jealous, nobody's learning. This is that same person that's just not learning. So you got a lot of envy for whatever reason. And this is someone that could have, you know, fumbled you. They could have made some mistakes. Look at all this happiness and joy you have in your life. You've definitely created boundaries. You could be at a distance emotionally, but also definitely physically from this person. You could be doing a lot of amazing things in your life because you've learned to manifest. You've learned you're the co-creator. You've learned that you are the alchemist. And there's prosperity, longevity, and ultimately financial freedom that you are coming into. Your angels and your guides have supported you on this journey. They're definitely protecting you from this vitriol type of energy, caring connections, people that are going to have your back, middle, and front, bringing joy. Look at this. This is new beginnings, joy, happiness, peace. You're very in tune. You're trusting your intuition moving forward. Happy family dynamics, friendships, forging new, strong connections. And this abundance just keeps on blossoming because you're planting seeds in good faith, which is ultimately leading to your overall success. So let's get some messages from Tarot, and then we are going to wrap it up. We got a very long message. So, thank you, Spirit. We got on the bottom of the deck, look at that, you got the Ace of Pentacles, beloved. So this is confirming for all of your hard work, your effort, the overall energy is you got new offers, tangible offers, whether that looks like new money, new offers in job, new offers in career, new offers in partnership, love ships, friendships. There's something that someone is offering you that others will be very jealous and envious of. Some of you could be getting a pay increase, a bonus, making new business deals. I feel like Spirit is rewarding you for everything that you've experienced. That's what the karmic completion was about, discovering a lot of lies, deception. People who hurt you like this are usually the people that are closest to you, because those are the only ones that could get close enough to stab you in the back. So these are people that you trusted. These are people that you were loyal to, faithful to, people that you would have went above and beyond for, people that you typically, you know, kind of over extended yourself to. But Spirit is saying you didn't do all of that for nothing, because you did do the work to heal, to grow, and to learn ultimately from the mistakes. So what we have here is the Star, turning your vulnerabilities into a superpower, you know, not allowing this pain and the deception to destroy you and turn you bitter, but to ultimately, you know, be vulnerable in the moment and learn from your mistakes and learn how to co-create, learn how to manifest. So you remain very hopeful, very optimistic, praying and wishing on and hoping on stars, and now you've definitely planted those seeds in good faith, and so your wishes are coming true. And we have crucial conflict. They from Chi-Town. Someone could be from Chi-Town. This is called Hey. So I do feel like with crucial conflict, there was a lot of conflicts in those relationships. Crucial because you realize that you had people that was that's dangerous to have people that are not only deceptive but envious. Not only envious, but trying to cause disruption in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's very conflicting, and it's very dangerous. So there was definitely a crucial conflict just in those dynamics alone. You know, someone could have also been very much just kind of always faded. I see someone always smoking, because that's what hay is. You know, hay is referencing, you know, marijuana. So someone could have been like self-medicating, just always smoking, always, you know, high as a kite. So they could have made, you know, a lot of you know, decisions that weren't very coherent. So let's tap in Divine Spirit. Let's clarify these messages. Get a message for the overall energy from our tarot deck. I'm using traditional tarot. I see someone is trying to grow, because I saw the Knight of Wands, and then I saw, there it is, Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. So someone is definitely, you know, taking onus here. This could be your energy, taking charge, moving forward, gaining awareness, going after what you want, manifesting something new. Or that could be someone coming in towards you as well. Or that could have been someone who was very flighty and not, they were like a commitment phobe. Someone may have had a wandering eye as well. But let's tap in. What's the overall energy for my beloved Scorpios? Thank you, Spirit. All right, and I see another message here, and I see another message here. So you got all 4 of these cards that flew out, and we're going to turn them around. Bottom of the deck, we got the Emperor. So remember, I was picking up like an authoritarian type of energy, a leader, a boss, because that 4 deals with that divine masculine, the Emperor energy. So I feel like this is ultimately what you're attracting to you, because we did have that Empress energy show up. So you attract what you are. So now that you're owning your power, knowing your worth, loving yourself, you're attracting someone that's going to admire that, and also someone that's going to match your fly in that regard. And that could also be why someone's very envious, because they see that you are in someone that is you're in a partnership that's well suited for you. So there goes the Hangman. So remember, we did have that sacrificial energy of the Hangman, and so all the cards I mentioned are here. So you definitely had that epiphanous moment, that aha moment, where you started to discover that, you know, some of these connections that you were giving so much of yourself to, they were definitely actually like one-sided and toxic. So that was very conflicting. That's why we got crucial conflict. That was a crucial conflict for you, to still be, you know, so giving and so available, and for people that were not even going to spit on you if you was on fire. With the Moon, remember I mentioned secret admirers. I feel like this is ultimately saying that you discovered what was hidden. Certain things started to come to light, things that were hidden, things that were, you know, that you were not privy to. I do feel like you started to trust your intuition, and this helped you to discover certain things. Remember I mentioned the Hermit, going within, introspecting, self-reflecting, emotionally regulating. That's how you get to this level of self-mastery, where you graduate to this level of, you know, divinity, as a feminine energy or a masculine energy. The Hermit is a wizard, so he's very wise, and he doesn't project and blame others. He goes within to see, how can I move differently? How can I manifest what I desire? And ultimately they remain hopeful, because if you look in that lantern, there's a star there, and that star represents, you know, wishes coming true, or planning new wishes, or, you know, calling in for new wishes and new wish fulfillments. So with this energy here, we're about to pull the card for who or what you're attracting to you, about what you're attracting to you, who or what you're attracting to you. And we got this energy here of the Emperor still in the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like, you know, maybe there is someone, you know, that could be in this energy of trying to plan, prepare, strategize, how to maneuver, how to come forward. I'm definitely feeling like you're attracting someone made in your likeness, in your image. We had a lot of 4s, so, you know, that's showing up in this reading. So I was getting that divine masculine energy. I was getting someone that had, you know, their heart chakras open for love. So this is someone open and receptive for love. But let's tap in. So who or what is our beloved Scorpios attracting to them? Let's clarify the messages here. Get a message of peace, power, and protection. Thank you, Spirit. We got the 7 of Wands, when we pull the card of how who or what you're attracting to you feel about you. So the cards that flew out, got the Magi, so someone trying to manifest, and that's what I was getting with this. Is someone manifesting. This could also be someone trying to manipulate a situation. With the 3 of Wands here, I was seeing that 3 of Wands, which is like, you know, the ships are docking, so that means something that you've been manifesting is materializing. Something is coming in full circle. So I do feel like there's something that you've been waiting for, something you've been anticipating, because even with the patience and planning, even with this love begins, this could be what you've been waiting for. Perhaps it's been communication. I feel like it's coming in very quickly. As you can see, the ships are docking. And it's been a matter of divine timing, because you got 7 and 7 here. That breaks down to 14-5, because 3, 3, 6, and plus that 1 is 7, plus this 7, so 14. So it's been a matter of divine timing, which means that it's been, you know, taking time, because Spirit wanted to get it right. And so now you can see, you know, things are docking. This is something you very well could have been manifesting when you were in that very vulnerable state of the star energy, you know, just, you know, being very hopeful, sending up prayers, petitions, and speaking positively into the ethers what your desires, hopes, and dreams are. And as you can see clearly with the 3 of Wands, you can see in the waters, those ships are coming in to dock. So that means that your prayers are being answered. And it's going to make you feel a lot of joy, especially after feeling a lot of pain. We got Frankie Beverly here and Maze, and this is called Joy and Pain. So I do feel like you had to suffer from a lot of painful circumstances, which we can see here, suffering from heartache and loss, whether losing loved ones, losing friendships, losing relationships, but it's taught you. So you suffered a lot of heartache and loss. It also taught you to establish boundaries, to really protect your peace, and ultimately to stand your ground, to not feel inferior or not feel like you have to silence yourself. I feel like this is you really just stepping up and protecting yourself. So let's tap in. So let's clarify how, who, or what our beloved Scorpios are attracting to them, feel about them. So someone does feel like you're guarded, you know, that you're very guarded. They feel like almost afraid to overstep your boundaries. See that? So we got someone that's in a very conflicting energy. It feels very competitive, very confusing. I feel like this is the dun-dun-dun crew. I always refer to that as the dun-dun-dun crew. This is how someone feels about you, almost confused. They're listening to a lot of people, or they've listened to a lot of people, and they want to clear the air. I feel like they feel like you've cut them off. You've definitely severed the ties in that relationship. I feel like this is someone that got caught up with a lot of different, you know, opinions, and it led to, you know, pain. You know, maybe this is someone that had different options. There could have been secret competitive energy around. Someone may feel you have a lot of, you know, options, and they're going to have to compete. Let's get one more message for how, who, or what our beloved Scorpios are attracting to them, feels about them. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. See that? I can't make this up. A lot of options. So that's what that person was doing, and you're getting your justice. This is what's hidden. Definitely confirming that energy. So a lot of messages came out, and I'm feeling like I got to take these all, because this is how they're feeling about you. So they're wanting things to turn around. This is a turning point. This is definitely them seeing that you're very wealthy, that there's a lot of fortune or abundance or prosperity that you're coming into. I definitely feel like they want some sort of full circle moment, because something may have ended or transpired. This is someone that feels a lot of passion. This could be lust, desire. This is someone that definitely is attracted to you, someone that's also trying to manifest you, or they see that you're a master manifester, that you have some sort of new beginning that you are embarking upon, which is, you know, giving them pause, making them a little afraid, because that new beginning is making them feel like you're getting away. They see you as very self-sufficient. You've really you know, really worked on your stability, and you are someone who's very grounded, very nurturing, very loving, loyal, caring, kind. You may have definitely worked very hard to acquire and achieve everything that you have, and you've been able to do so independently. They definitely see that you've carried a lot of burdens, a lot of weight on your shoulders. You dealt with a lot of challenges, a lot of disappointments, but you still went the distance. Like, you never gave up. Very, very, very determined. You persevered through the hardships, you know. So this person really sees that. There's definitely this energy of you being someone that has, you know, some sort of stability and happiness in some sort of family dynamic. So you and your family may, you know, your children may be in just a very happy household. You know, you have a lot of loyalty and love and laughter and support around you. They see that, you know, this is an energy of you, you know, even establishing just that sense of home and hearth, you know, what that means in terms of just, you know, generational wealth, building that wealth. This is what they see when they see you. They're up in their head. Didn't I tell you that 71 always made me feel like the 8 of Swords type of energy, where someone's kind of up in their head, stressing, overthinking, ruminating, pining, and that's a self-imposed energy, where someone is just kind of making themselves the victim. That's when you don't take the time to heal. They're very much in their head because they know they was in and out. This is that person that's disloyal. They move in with a lot of passion and lust, and they're always, you know, very much in a rush to come in, but then, you know, once that's fulfilled, they rush out, ghost you. And this is someone that could very much be like unreliable, in and out, definitely a commitment phobe, and they are seeing that. They could have had some sort of third-party shenanigans, but this is also someone who secretly desires to have some sort of reunion, to rekindle or to reunite in some way. They absolutely see that you are, you're connecting with your family or your friends, or you're connecting with people and you're having a great time as well. So this is something that can have them up in their head because you are really enjoying life, and they're still stuck on, this energy because they're living in the past, with joy and pain. I definitely feel like this person knows, that there was some good times and some bad times, and they could have probably, really just honed in and harped on just the bad times that you all may have had, and didn't really appreciate and value those good times until they absolutely lost you. What we have on the bottom of the deck when we pull the card for what's hidden is justice, and I was picking up that you were getting your just due, and that someone ultimately was also going to get some sort of karmic, justice as well. So with this energy, I feel like the truth sets you free. I feel like there's also a truth that someone may want to communicate. You may hear some sort of truth in a situation that you may not have known. You got Lauryn Hill, Mr. Intentional. So as I was speaking to someone, earlier about someone that was being very intentional to disrupt your peace, trying to tempt you, to take you off your square, to, cause confusion, to bring drama. We got Lauryn Hill saying this is someone Mr. Intentional. So this is someone that was definitely intentionally doing things to harm you. Someone could be from New Jersey. Someone's name could be Lauren or Hill. I feel like someone definitely died on the hill that they were trying to, that's a figure of speech. Is like, they're dying on the hill that they tried so hard to defend. You know what I'm talking about? And so this is a little bit of karmic justice for you. I do feel like they're starting to see the truth. I feel like they're also going to see you living in your truth, which is what they perhaps is finding difficulty, witnessing, is that you are coming into a loving relationship. So look at that. You're coming into new offers. This is you getting that Ace of Pentacles that we first touched the deck. That's what we saw. And you're getting an offer from this Divine Masculine. So there is a proposal. I feel like there's also a job opportunity that you're not going to be able to refuse, which could lead to travel, which could lead to you moving perhaps to another state, to another, country even for some of you. But I see that there's someone offering you something real, something tangible. This is also stability, financial freedom, security. What's hidden is you have an offer for someone that could be proposing, because with the yin and yang, the contract, and then the Ace of Pentacles, that's something tangible. And I feel like, this is why that person is trying to tempt you, because they're trying to distract you off this path that your angels have, aligned for you, have paved for you, I should say. So this person goes after what they want. This is someone that's, a leader or boss. They're going to be very protective of you as well. So they're not going to take too kindly to someone trying to come in and, cause a lot of this confusion. So they're going to be very protective of you. I also feel like, whatever this spiritual career that you're pursuing is leading to major success. I even see you having like somewhat of multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. If you are like about to invest in some sort of franchise business, is what I'm seeing as well. It's like it's going to lead to other opportunities as well. So what is the outcome? Why is this 78? Spiritual career, 85. Follow your dream, 99. Wait, what is that? 19. Pride, 91. Surrender, 1. Base chakra, 17. We don't need to do all that. And there goes the Tower. The Tower isn't anything to fret or be afraid of. The Tower just means that all illusions are about to be, dissipated. Like, this is about getting rid of the illusions, the delusionment. This is about finally seeing things as they are. The Tower definitely forces a new beginning. This could be someone else having that Tower moment because you're moving forward with something new, with someone new. Yep, you're wrapping up some sort of cycle, and someone's going to feel left out in the cold. They're going to regret their decisions. They're going to regret being deceptive. They're going to regret stabbing you in the back. And they're going to realize this is them getting their karma. You know, this is a little bit of karma. So I feel like your distance, you graduating and leveling up and ascending beyond and, you know, moving past the situation is going to be a tower for another person, because they're still in their mind hopeful that they can repair and rekindle and rebuild, and you're absolutely finished. You know, this is you completing and wrapping up that cycle. This is the karmic completion. This is the graduation card for you Scorpios. Congratulations. And we see that. Look at this. I love this. These are the cards that flew out to clarify, you know, the outcome. So you're standing your ground. You're definitely not taking anyone back. You can accept the apologies that you receive or don't, but you're standing your ground. You mean in what you're saying. That's why this person is having angst. But this Hierophant, that's what you did. You've learned a lot about yourself. You've matured. And because someone else has not done the work, they've grown bitter because you're growing up. And the more you grow, the more they feel the distance. They feel the distance between the two of you. You're growing apart from them. That's what's making that person bitter. But you have learned valuable lessons. You've also learned your worth. You've learned your value. You also are coming into a happy union with someone else. You're a happy family. This is the happy house, happy spouse. Your children are happy. This is someone loyal. This is someone you've rebuilt with. This is someone you're going to have that everlasting love. And this is definitely ending in matrimony and marriage. You will be married to that person. So this is your reading, my beloved Scorpios. I hope this message resonated. Whoever that Mr. Intentional was, they're going to have to reap what they sowed. They're going to be very envious of this new life that you're having with someone else, because they're going to realize that they had the opportunity with this Empress, you know, with that Emperor energy, and they kind of fumbled that ball. They see you now as someone rare. They're never going to bump into another version of you ever again in this lifetime. And I feel like that was a lesson that they've had to learn. The same lessons you've had to learn about self-love, they're now going to have to learn that as well. But this is your reading. I thank you all so much for staying here this long. Please be kind. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. Until next time, I send a big fat ashayo. Peace. I'm trying to stop this